Yo, what's up? This is Robert DeLong, and you're with AU Review.
When it comes to Australia, what were you looking forward to seeing while you were here? Are you going to get a chance to do anything other than promo?
Not so much. This trip's kind of a whirlwind, but yeah, I mean, I was excited to see the Opera House and stuff. People always talk about that, but I'm just excited to be here, check out something new, learn about how to pronounce aluminum correctly and all that.
Are you going to be heading straight up to Byron tomorrow, or do you stick around for a little bit?
Yeah, we head up sometime tomorrow afternoon. I'll be up there until I play.
Are you looking forward to that festival?
Absolutely, yeah. It should be great.
Any bands on the lineup you keen to see?
I mean, there's a lot of cool bands on there. I mean, obviously I have some label mates on there with Mumford and then also cool to see Haim. I played with them a couple times. They're really cool, and I don't know, a lot of cool stuff happening. So whatever I can check out, I will.
For sure. And what can we expect from the show? Are you bringing all your gadgets with you? Were you able to bring everything down here?
Oh yeah. We got everything: Wii remotes, joysticks, keyboards, drum set, the whole nine.
So you tell people a little bit about how the show works. You look like you're a busy man up there.
Yeah, I mean it's me just running around between all my electronics and my acoustic instruments and singing and creating loops and then running to the next instrument and playing with it and yeah, I mean it's really interactive. It's kind of hard to describe, but it's pretty wild, I guess.
Was it difficult to recreate your music on the stage at first? Was it something that took a bit of while to perfect?
Yeah, I mean it took a long time to kind of figure out how to recreate the recordings, but I mean the songs evolved a lot once I started performing them, and the original songs that they came from sound a lot different than what they ended up after performing, so it's kind of a back and forth that way.
How have they changed since the album was released? I guess has there been more evolution since then?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always adding little things here and there, and definitely there's ways they've changed since the album was released that I probably wouldn't even remember exactly. I'm sure I perform them differently. They have little sections that have changed and whatnot, but I think you can recognize the songs generally.
Are there any songs that have worked better live with the audiences than you expected them to?
It's interesting. It's like I mean, obviously, there's a couple songs that people know, like "Global" and "Happy" that tend to go over well with people, but it's always interesting to see like in Europe, "Change" went over really well, which is kind of a houseier one, but in the States not so much. I guess they're not ready; they still want the dubstep or whatever. So,
anything that you gauged from yesterday in Melbourne from Australia?
I mean, I don't know. That was a really fun one. It was just sweaty and everyone was pumped up the whole time, so it's hard to say if there were any highs or lows. I think. I mean, it was exciting. There was one point where I couldn't even hear myself singing because people were shouting over me, which is cool.
I don't imagine you get that at every show.
No, not at every show, no. But
so what's next for you? What's the rest of the year holding?
I mean, it's pretty busy. After this, go home for a couple days to LA, and then off to Lollapalooza, and then after that to Europe, and then tour in the States, and then Europe again, tour in the States, and then I'll be back here for Stereosonic. And then I guess I'll die after that. Yeah.
There are so many bands who are playing Splendour that are running straight to Chicago. When you originally saw that schedule, were you going, "Oh, that's gonna be interesting"?
No, this one's not so bad. I got like a 4-day turnaround or something like that. There's definitely had worse things, like playing France and Miami in the same day.
How did that work?
Just like you'd imagine, you'd kind of sleep on the airplane and you feel terrible, but it went well, so all good.
Do you have tricks to kind of competing against your jet lag now?
Tricks, I'm just good at sleeping on airplanes, good at sleeping in cars, good at knowing when to drink caffeine and when not. It's important to control your crashes, but
have you ever had a set where it's been particularly difficult getting through it?
I mean, I've had some sets where I've been really exhausted. Remember I did one in Dallas for Edgefest, and I think I've been running on like 1 hour sleep for the last like 2 days or something, but still made it through. It was still good. Still had a good time. So I mean, I think that's what it's all about. When you get on stage, it kind of all fades away, and you're just focused on that thing, and then afterwards, you fall asleep.
You mentioned that LA's home now. How long have you lived there for?
I've lived there for about 9 years. I grew up in Seattle, but yeah, I've lived there for about 9 years.
So you're pretty accustomed to it.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
What's it? I mean, there's such a strong kind of scene in LA. You know, that's especially in the last 5 years. You know, how has that been in terms of your growth? How have you kind of made? How did you make waves in those early days for yourself?
I mean, you know, it was just really the biggest thing was playing shows and having, you know, a lot of really supportive friends and stuff too, to be able to come out there and kind of, you know, bring that energy to the show. But I mean, you know, fortunately what I was doing was so kind of different from what a lot of people were doing that it made it, you know, it was good in that sense because, you know, there's a pretty big contrast there. You know, I played with a lot of like indie bands, but I was nothing like the indie bands, and I played with like DJs, and I was obviously a lot different than DJs, so it kind of worked out in my favor, I suppose.